What's going on YouTube? Welcome to episode 6 of the U.S.S. Enterprise D tutorial. I'm Zero Elite and I just want to thank you very much for tuning in today's episode. If you haven't, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and helping me in supporting the channel. I can't thank you enough for that. I know I was supposed to get out of the video yesterday. I meant to, but yesterday was actually my birthday, so I had gone out to dinner with my girlfriend, and by the time we were done with everything, it was kind of late. So this is I'm like, I'll just put this video out on Friday in the morning. This way is to still get out 4 episodes a week. Well, 3 episodes a week for Minecraft. But anyway, got a little bit of work to do today. About a 16-minute video. Going to be several steps in this episode. There are several clips I put together from different things that we've basically been doing in the last couple of episodes, adding additional layers to our lower half of the saucer and the upper half. So we're just going to jump right into it. And we're going to pull out some half slabs. We're going to add a row of half slabs going along the same height as our last row of half slabs. And of course, we want to make sure that we mind the cut with this. We're on the lower side of the inner circle of the saucer. And we're looking pretty good. We're going to do that going all the way around the saucer, add that layer. Want to make sure, of course, to mind your cuts. That's very important. And then we're going to come back behind that, and we're going to do a row of white quartz. That looks pretty good. Of course, you want to do that white quartz that we're adding another row behind the half slabs. We want to do that all the way around the saucer as well. And so we're making some pretty steady progress. Our slope is starting to come together, and skipping a couple of rows between each transition is helping it to look a little bit more like the Enterprise D should look. Now we're going to go right behind the row of quartz, and we're going to do a row of white concrete, and we're going to do this going all the way around. And then behind that white concrete, we're going to do a row of white quartz. We're going to also do that going all the way around. Excuse me. Then after that, we're going to come back, and directly underneath the white quartz, we're going to do a row of half slabs directly underneath that. And we're going to also do that going all the way around. A couple of steps to do right there. You may have to end up pausing the video. That'll get you to your next transition lip, and it'll be looking pretty good, I think. Like I was saying, we're going to try to get some stuff done today. Because the saucer section it requires a lot of detail, and there's really no other way around it. Even the Constitution classes, they don't require nearly this much detailing. But it just kind of is what it is. We're going to have to do it to make it look right. Anyway, we're going to come back now. We're going to do a row of half slabs, which is going to fall in line with our previous rows. It's going to be directly behind our other half slabs. So you can probably figure out at this point that there's a pattern that I'm following. And once you start to identify your patterns, it becomes a little bit easier to build these things out. All right, so now we're going to go and directly behind our half slabs. Once we've done that going all the way around, we're going to do a row of white quartz. And somebody may end up asking me, like, how I determine how deep down this is going to go. And really, the best answer that I can give for that is I'm just eyeing it, and I'm looking at a picture or a 3D model of the Enterprise D, and I'm just looking at how deep the underside of the dish has to go. Um, that's really the best explanation that I can give. Uh, but get back in a little bit what we got going on here. We're going to do a row on the upper side of white quartz going all the way around the saucer, and then directly behind that, we're going to do a row of white concrete. But yeah, that's really how I build these ships. You know, I don't have any set blueprint to go off of. I wish that I did. It would make this a heck of a lot easier. Um, but I just look at pictures and physical models if I have that, or a 3D model, and I just try to piece it together the best I can and come up with a pattern that looks good. Um, and I think it's working out pretty good so far. Now we're going to add another row of half slabs on top of the white concrete going all the way around our saucer. Give us another transition line. Because we're getting to a point that we don't want that transition to go up, keep going up every row. We want to start splitting it up to kind of stretch out and make the curve a little bit more subtle instead of it just being so steep. So we've added another row to our upper saucer. Now we're going to mosey on back down to the lower half. We're going to do a little bit more work to this. Now, directly behind the white quartz, I'm going to add a row of another row of white quartz. You can switch this up if you want to use white concrete to differentiate the two if you're worried that you're going to make a mistake. But if you go with your cut lines, which are exactly at the same point as these upper rows, you can't make a mistake. Just, you know, mind what you're doing, pay attention, and you should be perfectly fine. But we're going to do this going all the way around the saucer. Give us another row, and yeah. But I do remember when I was doing building this, um, the saucer took a little bit of work, as you can obviously see. Just taking a little bit of time to render. I mean, I didn't work on this ship every single day, you know, 24 hours a day for 3 months, but off and on for it took off and on for a 3 month period to really build this thing. And it just took time to render it all in. Um, this is hands down the longest build I've ever had to do. That's for sure. You can see I'm actually just going back now and checking my work and my pattern to see how it looks, making sure I'm doing the same thing consistently. So now we're going to add another row of white concrete going around. All right. Now we're going to work our way over to the lip, and going along the lip directly behind the half slab, we're going to do a row of the quartz. We want to make sure that we're going to do that going all the way around our ship. Now on my straightaway, you can see I just did a straight line with the quartz. I believe what you guys will have is the half slab. You can swap that out for the quartz because it's actually the bottom side is going to be the same height. Um, actually, I think it's going to. Well, no, it's going to. Yeah, it's going to be the same height on this top piece, so it's going to come down just a little bit um, after we added this lip here. Um, so you can see we have a full row gap here because you have to envision it that this line right here is going to be a walkway, or at least the height of the walkway anyway. So we have just enough of a gap here to where we can do our automatic doors. And I'm specifically designing this saucer to accommodate that. This is something I'm actually kind of excited about because I've never actually done this before with any of my builds. And I'd like to think over the course of the last couple of years that I've been building these ships, that I've been getting better at them, or I'd like to think that anyway. So I've been trying to accommodate certain things with this build and achieve certain things, and that was one of the things that, like for example, with the Cerratos, I was not happy with. That I really didn't just I didn't have enough room to do my circular corridors, or not my circular corridors, but just my regular corridors in general on the saucer. Um, so that was something I really wanted to make a point that, if I decide I want to have these on this ship, I can definitely do it, and I've got the room to do it. So I think that's pretty cool that I have that on here, and we're definitely gonna be taking advantage of that on this ship. But as you can see, this thing is already turning out to be massive. A lot of work to do. We're come back over to our inner ring. We're going to continue our work because this part here is going to be a big deciding factor in the proportions of the rest of the ship. So we're going to do a row of white concrete followed by a row of white quartz and then another row of white concrete. We're going to do that going all the way around the saucer. I'll zoom out there so you can see that. But no, there's definitely a reason why I start with the saucer in every single build, because this, in so many ways, dictates the proportions of the rest of your ship. And that's why you want to take that time and care on this section to get it right, because if we make mistakes here, it's going to throw the rest of the ship off. So if you're going to make mistakes, pretty much now is the time to do it, because if you do happen to nail this, then, and you're sizing up the rest of your ship based off of your saucer and you got your saucer right, then you're much more likely to get the rest of your ship correct as well. So we're looking pretty good. We've made some consistent progress. We're going to go around the last row that we added, which is the white concrete, and directly underneath that, we're going to do a row of half slabs going all the way around. That's looking pretty good. And now directly behind that, we're going to do another row of half slabs. As you can see, I'm trying to get some stuff done today. Trying to get as much as I can done without having a 45-minute episode. Um, I think sometimes when I go over 20 minutes, I maybe overstay my welcome a little bit. So I try not to do it unless I feel that I absolutely have to. Um, but I think we're in pretty good shape. We still have a little bit of time. Yeah, we've got about 5 minutes left, so we got plenty of time to get some more work done. So once you're done adding your half slabs going all the way around, we're going to do another row of quartz going all the way around. So far, looking pretty good. You see our transition now on the lower side of the saucer is really starting to take shape. And when you zoom out, you can definitely start to envision it more, how the proportions of the saucer are starting to come together. I'm going to pop back up here to the top, and I'm going to do another row of half slabs going all the way around as well. Because now on the upper side of the saucer, we're getting to a point kind of mimicking what I did on the underside, even though it didn't start out that way. We're trying to stretch out a transition a little bit to make the saucer on the edges, at least, a little bit less steep as it goes up, because that's exactly how it is on the Enterprise D. So once you've added one row of half slabs, we're going to come back again and do another row. So we're going to be doing 2 rows total right now. All right. So far, so good. Now we're going to come back and we're going to do a row of, I'm either going to do that in white quartz or a half slab. I think I was getting overzealous there, and I was thinking like, okay, maybe this is where the phaser banks are going to go. That's why I was going to add that gray there, and I was like, oh, what, I should hold off on that. We're not at a point right now where we can think about detailing our ship. Just focus on getting the shape right now. That's one of the reasons for those of you that watched my full teaser, saw the Enterprise, might have noticed that there wasn't a ton of detail on the outside, and that was because I was just focusing on getting the outside of the ship done so I could start this thing. Um, so yeah, instead of doing the gray, we're gonna do go back to what I had just a second ago, the white quartz. We're gonna do that going all the way around. We're getting to a point now. We need to start being careful with how many rows that we're adding. I think as far as the lip goes, our transition point is not going to exceed when we get to the inner ring. We're kind of going to stop it there. Um, but still, there's going to be additional transitional layers, just not as many of them like we're doing here. So now we're going to do another row of white quartz. We're actually going to be adding 2 more rows, and we're going to be going all the way around the upper inner ring, well, the upper outer ring, I should say, because we're still in the outer. And then we're going to add 1 row of the white concrete. Of course, just take your time, be careful, mind your cuts. As long as you do that, you're in good shape. You see, I'm just looking down and looking at my cut lines as my reference and when I need to transition to the next row. All right, and directly above that white concrete, we're going to do a row of half slabs. We're going to do that going all the way around the ring. Yeah, so for those of you that are wondering, this is literally a step-by-step process, especially right here. Um, and I think it's working out pretty good. Like I was asked, I haven't had anybody give me any feedback yet, but if you are enjoying the way I'm doing this now, the tutorial, let me know in the comments section. If you enjoyed watching me build these things out live, completely unedited, let me know as well. Um, we're gonna do another row of half slabs going all the way around. But yeah, this was just something I kind of I felt that I had to do for this build because this would have taken a million years otherwise. But we'll see. I may end up doing other large builds like this in the future, but maybe not as frequently. I don't know. We'll have to play that by ear. I know that inevitably, Enterprise E is going to be another ship that I'm going to do. So I've had a few people asking for that. Um, not as many as the D. I think the D, um, up to this point, has been my #1 build request. But um, when I do the E, um, I mean, it's a little bit longer than Enterprise D, but it's not quite as wide from what I remember. Um, but I'll have to play that by ear. We'll kind of see. But let me know what ships you want to see in the comments section. You never know, if I get enough people asking for it, I might just do it. Because all these ships on here have been uh, requested by the community that I've done so far. But yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up today. Whatever reason you have any questions about this episode, you get stuck, drop a comment, let me know. I'll try to help you out if I can. But that's going to wrap it up for me today. I just want to thank you all again for tuning in today's episode. And if you did enjoy this episode, please help me out. Hit that like and subscribe button, helping me in supporting the channel. I can't thank you enough for that. And new subscribers, don't forget to hit notifications on to always get notified when those new videos drop. And speaking of new videos, you can usually catch my new Starship Evo builds dropping on Mondays. My Minecraft videos dropping Tuesdays through Fridays. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for me. I just want to thank you all again for tuning in today's episode. I hope everybody has a happy and safe weekend, and I'll catch you on next week's episodes.